Hello, everyone. I am doing this from my computer today and going live quick. Usually I am live on my phone, which makes it a little different. So I am trying to make sure I can see everything here and answer questions and whatnot so that I've got your comments up. And there we go. This is super zoomed in on my face. Okay, so I am going to take a minute today. I just want to chat with you guys about closing costs when you are purchasing a home. They can be super confusing. Buying a home in general can be, it's a big deal. I mean, it's one of the biggest things in a big purchase that people make in their lives, and it can be, difficult sometimes to understand. So I'm going to go through just a little bit with closing costs and what you should expect. What exactly they mean, what they're for. It's showing me people are on, but it doesn't tell me who, but that's okay. So let's talk about them. Also, just wanted to throw it out there, Luke and I, we've got a Facebook group that we started. It's a free community where we are going to be just sharing a lot about homeownership and buying a home in general. So if you haven't done that, and you're a first-time buyer or you're renting and you really want to buy, be sure to join that. And then we're going to go into even DIY renovations and how to really turn your house into your dream home and everything that you've wanted it to be, which is kind of what our journey was and how we started. Because when we first bought our home way back before being in real estate as our full-time careers, we really, we didn't think it was possible to purchase a home, let alone, purchase a home and then remodel it and so forth and so on and turn it into a career and growth and everything from it. So it can be scary, and we definitely know and understand that. So we're going to start, just sharing a little bit more about how it all happened for us and some things for you guys to expect and hopefully make it a little less scary. So first of all, closing costs. So when you think about closing costs, one big question is who pays closing costs? And this is something that can be answered multiple ways depending on who you're talking to. Typically in a transaction, buyers have their own closing costs and sellers also have their own closing costs. And, in most situations, you're going to pay your own closing costs unless you are specifically asking as a buyer for a credit from the seller towards those closing costs. Closing costs typically entail origination fees for the loan, processing fees, underwriting fees. It depends on the bank, the lender, the mortgage broker, whoever you're going to use, who really is going, or what those fees are and if you have them, but that's something that's commonly part of it. And then you have your appraisal. This is something that is ordered and everything on the buyer side and something that's paid for on the buyer side, as well as flood certificate. You've got your credit reports, you've got your title searches and examinations. Got things popping up here. I need to turn them off. 1 second. Oh, hey, Jesse. Hi. You've got your recording fees, surveys, things like that. So there are a lot of little fees that break down into closing costs. It really can depend. It depends on where you are located as to what those closing costs might be. You've got some lenders here. You've bought plenty. You can explain all of this. Yes, Jesse is a pro and could give a lot of info on this too. But so it really can range. Sometimes your closing costs, you might be, $1,000, $1,500 or so, and then sometimes it can be up in the $2,000, $2,500, $3,000. It really depends kind of on the lender and or the mortgage, the broker that you're going through as to what the fees are that they charge. Some lenders give credits, give things like that. So really look at that. That's another big thing to look at when you are getting pre-approved for a house. I will save that for another video because it's a whole other thing just to, think about and go through that process. But those are the basic things that are really involved in closing costs. You do also have your taxes and your insurance that are prorated, but that's not, those are considered prepaid items, and that's another thing that kind of sometimes can get confusing on if it's part of closing costs or if it's a separate prepaid. So they are separate. It is something that like I said, buyers have their own closing costs. Those are standard buyer closing costs. And then sellers have their own standard closing costs, which we can go into here in just a second. But if you are looking at purchasing a home, there are so many different advantages and disadvantages to asking for closing costs. So this is where I would recommend highly leaning on your realtor as the expert for that based on each situation, because depending on if you're competing or what it is, you may be better off not asking for them or asking for them. So really lean on the professional, lean on your realtor to help guide you into what's going to be best if you're buying a home and looking at asking for closing costs. So that's all I've got for you today. Just a brief little bit about closing costs, what to expect, all of that. If you've got specific questions on home buying or, what closing costs might be for you, if you're buying, selling, anything like that, feel free to reach out to me. You can message me anytime. I won't respond all the time because sometimes I just saw this in the background. Sometimes I'm coloring with my kid because Briley is making a big old mural that she's going to color and bring across this whole thing. So you'll get to see that throughout the next future videos. But yeah, that's all I've got for now. If you've got questions, feel free to reach out and definitely join the group that we started. I added it into this description. You'll get a lot more info and whatnot in there. So have a great day and awesome Tuesday, because that's the day it is. Bye.